Now let's think about this in terms of like comparison shopping. Miami just recently, they were hosting New England and Las Vegas, and they were laying 7. Those are really bad teams. The Jets are just a mediocre team. They're a field goal better than those other two teams, and the Jets are getting almost the same amount of points. I am buying the Jets low.
Steve Fezzik, everybody, at Fezzik Sports. Only back-to-back champion of the Hilton Super Contest back in the day. How are you doing in millions this year? Not so good?
Not so good. You know what? I went back and I thought I was donezo in these contests.
No.
There's a good chance I'm going to win the Westgate Super Contest, the season win contest. I'm on pace to go like 24-8, and my tiebreak is the Chiefs over with 13 wins. So I own the tie breaks.
Oh, wow.
So we'll see.
What's the pot there? It's a small pot, though, right?
The first prize, $26,000.
Oh, that's hey, what's wrong with that?
Pay for all the other losing contests.
That's right. What's wrong with $26K? All right, you've got 3 this weekend in the NFL.
Yeah, so let's start with a total. Let's go Seattle, Arizona under. I'm going to make the case that both of their defenses are underrated. Because if you look at, if they're giving up 5.4 yards per play, old school fossil stat. But look at like who Arizona's played. Like to start the year, they played Buffalo, the Rams, Detroit, Washington, San Fran, Green Bay, LAC, and Miami with Tua. They're playing nothing but like above average offenses. So of course they're giving up 5.4 yards per play. And Seattle has a similar schedule, same division. So both defenses underrated. When they played 2 weeks ago, very low scoring game, not a lot of yardage. I'm going to go under the 44.5.
All right, and then you are putting on your Evil Knievel helmet and taking the Jets +6 at the Dolphins.
All right, so let's value. So, by the way, shout out the Whale. Great point. It was like, I'm selling Detroit high, okay? So It looks good so far. Good. I am buying the Jets low. And so let's think about this. If you wanted to bet the Jets, in retrospect, you probably shouldn't have laid 3 when they were at Pittsburgh. That was a real number. That was the number.
Real number.
Real number. Now they're getting 6 at Miami. And let's think about this in terms of like comparison shopping. Miami just recently, they were hosting New England and Las Vegas, and they were laying 7. Those are really bad teams. The Jets are just a mediocre team. They're a field goal better than those other two teams, and the Jets are getting almost the same amount of points. Jets +6.
Jets +6. And now this is interesting. You're taking the Bears. We have a question on the Megapod. What's the game you want no part of? My pick was the Bears and the Niners. I want no part of that. You do want a part of it. You're taking the Bears.
Yeah, it's a blindfold pick. Basically, I got a team that fired their coach, so they can blame their mistakes on him, which obviously he was a big part of it. They got 10 days. I love that, against a team that's horribly injured. So I got the much healthier team that fired their coach with 10 days of prep against a team that's reeling from injuries. I'm not watching the game. I'll take the Bears +4.
but a game that you are not required to watch. Okay.
Of course I will actually watch it.
Look ahead to Week 15 in the National Football League. You have 6. Count them. I love when people say that. Count them. 6 look-aheads. Let's start with the Rams +3 against the Niners.
So let's think about this. So the Niners are laying 4 against the Bears. Well, the Rams are much better than the Bears, and the Niners are laying 3. So it's a
not
very
laying 3, catching 3.
I'm getting the Rams +3.
Yeah, catching 3. Yeah.
Right. So the Niners, but the Niners, yeah. So the Rams and the Niners, I got as equal teams, and I'm catching 3. Home field's only worth 1.5. Absolutely, give me the Rams.
Okay. Also, boy, these are ugly. Browns +6 versus the Chiefs at home. It's at home for Cleveland, though.
Yes, and a situation where power rating makes it 4.5. But I mean, come on, the book on Kansas City, and it's a fair book, is they're kind of like that LeBron Cleveland team. Like back when we'll win enough games, get in the playoffs, and then we'll rock and roll. And it just sort of turned out this year they're winning all these close games. They're not covering any of them, and I think the back door will be wide open against that bad Kansas City defense that without Watson has just been awful. Cleveland +6.
Okay. Eagles and Steelers next week, Week 15. And by the way, I will be off next week. I have to tend to some things. So Kelly will man the ship with some co-hosts. I think Ben Wilson will be here. I think Scott Seidenberg will be here on Friday with you.
Love Scott.
You are very high on the Eagles. You are laying the points versus the Steelers.
Yes. So I have Eagles -4.5. These are all DraftKings lines, and I have the Eagles 5 points better than the Steelers. So on a neutral, I'd make it -5. It's a no-brainer, since they're hosting Pittsburgh, to go ahead and lay it. And I've been on an island with I got the Eagles, my number 1 team in the NFL.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like I give out my power ratings on X at Fezzik Sports, and there's a guy named Sam Hoppen that aggregates all our power ratings, and I've consistently been higher on the Eagles than everyone else and been correct so far. I'm going to run with them again.
It would surprise nobody for an Eagles-Lions NFC Championship to go the Eagles' way, by the way. It may surprise some. It wouldn't surprise me. Eagles minus 4.5 versus the Steelers. All right, moving on. The Buccaneers, 3-point dogs at the Chargers. You are taking the points.
Yeah, I don't get this. Explain this to me. I don't know who the better team is. And the Chargers don't have much of a home field at all. So absolutely, give me Tampa Bay +3 minus 115.
The Chargers are there's a lot of confirmation bias with the Chargers. It's like people like to immediately soak into the Harbaugh narrative. Oh, Jim Harbaugh, look out.
Good coach, good quarterback.
All that stuff. It's
Bad
like
fourth quarter quarterback,
They're not that good. Yeah, Buccaneers +3 at the Chargers. Seahawks versus the Packers. Seahawks are at home for this one.
Yeah, so on my power rating, so I've got Green Bay 4 points better than average team. Seattle 1 point better. So that's a 3-point difference on a neutral. And Seattle's home, and Seattle has a huge home field advantage. What is this? This is the Hail Mary Bowl from years and years ago,
remember
right?
It. Yeah, that's right.
But you give me the full 3, absolutely. Seattle +3 with that big home field edge.
Golden Tate, I believe that was, if I'm not mistaken. All right, and one total for next week, the Lions and the Bills. Ooh.
Yeah, so, and you think I don't listen to your show. So you brought the excellent point. You know, the underlying metrics of the offenses and defenses don't work. On Detroit Lions games because they go for it, 4th and 1 from their own 4.
Yeah.
Okay, that's impossible. But they're hyper aggressive. That creates more scoring. We just saw the Monday night game get bet up from 51.5 to 53. Soars over against Green Bay. Well, Buffalo and Green Bay look pretty comparable to me overall. So I'm going to go over the 51.5 and get ahead of the likely line move over. The weather in Detroit should be pretty good.
It should be pretty good in the friendly confines. So this week, just to review these, Seahawks, Cardinals under 44.5, Jets +6 at the Dolphins, Bears +4 at the Niners, and then next week, look ahead, you got the Rams catching 3 at the Niners, Browns +6 at home versus the Chiefs, Eagles laying the 4.5 versus the Steelers, Bucks +3 at the Chargers, Seahawks +3 at home versus the Packers, and the over in what ought to be the marquee matchup of the week, Week 15, Lions-Bills, over 51.5.
Bold prediction, 5 of the 6 will beat the closing number.
5 of 6 will beat.
We've done very well with the against the closing numbers with the plays we've given.
How has the CLV translated to wins and losses?
We've done well. I went back the last 2 weeks. We're 4 and 3. I don't know if you gave out my Arizona -130 last week. I sent it in, but it was not on the show.
I don't know that I did.
Yeah. So we won't count that, of course. So
sorry.
So 4 and 3. By the way, my pet peeve.
Oh, I like it.
And everyone does this. I want everyone to stop asking all the guests, who have you played this week? That's a terrible question. I want to know, who do you like at the current numbers? Because I don't care that that I played a game of the year and I got 4 points better. It doesn't do anyone any good. So, and I've been fined numerous times for exactly this sort of discussion. But really, we want to discuss who do we like versus current numbers.
Yeah. Do you what Bob will do is he will say, and I think Dr. Bob, who's about to come up, he'll answer the question, oh, I bet this, but it's here now. I would or would not recommend that.
Yeah, no fine. Given that he still likes it. Every pick Bob is giving out, by the way, the Pioneer, and he's coming on.
Yeah.
He is crushing it in college basketball. So when you see that screen light up like a Christmas tree with all the bulbs and
that's him.
That's him. Now I know Stormy likes all the white bulbs going on. Other people like the red and the green and all the different lights. All the lights are going off at 6:30 when Dr. Bob speaks, and at 7:05 a.m.
Steve Fezzik, everybody, at Fezzik Sports on the Twitter machine. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now, absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights, analysis, and tools like our betting splits at zero cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.